Hi, this is Andrew Phillips from EM Coach. I'm happy to be sharing one of our questions for you through EP Monthly from our question bank. That's EM Coach, not only a full question bank, but also lectures and questions. That's all tied together with artificial intelligence. Come check it out if you haven't already, emcoach.org. In terms of the question for this month, there are two central features that I want to share with you. One of them is, we hear a lot that children are not just younger adults. We don't hear as often that the elderly are not just older adults. And I think that's just as true as what we hear with the children. The way that the pathophysiology plays out in the elderly is different from that in younger adults. And you see that in this question with the delirium. Something that may be a simple urinary tract infection in a younger adult ends up causing delirium and a much worse morbidity in an elderly patient. So when you're looking at the elderly and they end up with delirium, it's not just, well, they're a little bit confused. This is a big deal. And when you find an elderly patient with delirium, you really need to be thinking not just twice, but 3 or 4 times about whether you're really going to send this person home. There's some other process that is causing that delirium. Delirium is not a primary problem. It is caused by something else. Which leads me to teaching point number 2, the difference between delirium and dementia. So dementia is in itself a primary problem. And another distinguishing feature between delirium and dementia is that dementia is going to be relatively constant, whereas delirium, by definition, has to be waxing and waning. Now, recall that there are 2 major kinds of delirium. There's the hyperactive and the hypoactive. And of course, you can have a mixed kind of third version of those. Keep a lookout for that hypoactive delirium. We tend to think of delirium, I think, when the patient's jumping out of bed or screaming, sundowning, things like that. But hypoactive delirium is actually more dangerous, associated with greater morbidity than the hyperactive delirium, largely because we just don't recognize it and don't address it early. So keep an eye out for that patient that may intermittently be confused but isn't really saying much, not very interactive, maybe just being very sleepy. That very well could be hypoactive delirium. Keep an eye out for what could be causing that and really have a low threshold to admit these patients to investigate further what that underlying cause is, because something is there. This is Andrew Phillips from EM Coach. I hope you enjoyed this month's question.